Hey guys, I'm back, and this camera shot is a little different today because, well, this video is going to be another long one. This is going to be another detailed journal. Perhaps this will be out by sometime before New Year's Eve, hopefully. So, but I kind of wanted to, give you guys a little bit of a story of what was going on for the past probably like a couple months or so. But let me take you guys through what was going on with the garage and what led up to this point. And I guess this shot right here and what you're seeing. So, allow me to go back to, at this point I kind of forgotten, but probably sometime in October, whenever that comment popped up in the Superior Products Cherry Foam versus Meguiar's Hyper Wash or Hyper Foam or Hyper Wash video. That first off, that video is still doing quite a bit of numbers, which is kind of unbelievable. So thank you for that, first off. But I've definitely have noticed people have been commenting about the floor of the garage, and a couple of comments I kind of like brushed off. I kind of like looked at it and kind of just didn't really think about it because they didn't really like explain what was going on with the floor or why they commented on the floor. And then they came a random commenter and then basically spilled beans like right out the gate that apparently I had asbestos for tiles. Like the tiles that I've been having on this floor of this garage for pretty much all the years that I've been living in this forsaken world. We've had asbestos tiles unbeknownst until that comment popped in. And first I was like, no way. I was like in denial. I was just like, I was about to brush off that comment, but you know what? I was like, I wanted to look it up just because I just happened to do so. And when I looked up asbestos tiles in the Google search, then came the image search, and when I clicked over, there were the exact tiles, the green little streaky kind of, it had like these white streaks across, sort of colored tiles. Those are the exact ones that I had in this garage. And it hit me. I'm like, whoa, we've had asbestos for 30 plus years. Basically, ever since I was born, right? And even beyond, or even before that, way before. So I'm going to explain a little bit about this house. So this house was built in the 50s. So obviously, it's kind of an old house. And one of the first few folks, right? I don't know how many people moved in here before we did, but one of the families made this garage into a room at one point. My neighbor basically explained it to my mom, and my mom explained it to me. For the most part, my neighbor has also kind of mentioned it here and there. She's like, she's been around for a long time. So, at some point, said folks put those tiles on the floor. I imagine that was the very same folks that put all this old wallpaper. Like you kind of see pieces, well, not even bits, like there's patches of history pretty much all around me with these little wallpaper patterns and stuff that you would pretty much find in the 50s or 60s, 70s maybe. But yeah, You can definitely see the stains over there. If anyone ever cares to spot them in my videos. But yeah, there's just history all around me pretty much, and including the green tiles that were on the floor. Funny enough, not the entire floor was all like tiled up with the asbestos green tiles or whatever, but yeah. So yeah, those were installed, and then at some point they moved out to somewhere in the Midwest or something like that. And apparently, my neighbor still kept in touch at some point. I don't know if she still does at this point. It's been a long time. But yeah, it was a room at one point, and then when my family moved in, that was basically when I was born, this went back to being a garage. So, yeah. Being able to kind of stand in the middle of the garage, which I don't really do all that often, it really kind of puts things into perspective for me. It's kind of surreal almost. Funny. But anyways, back to the asbestos tiles. So I told my mom about it, and of course, I think we all know that asbestos is very much a banned material, at least for buildings anyway. And so basically, it was a very popular, I think also cheap building material from oh man, I think it dates from back to the 60s or 70s, something like that. It was very popular. So a lot of the school buildings, I think, still has those types of tiles. You'll notice if it's this beigey, this streaky tile pattern, that's asbestos. At least for, especially for kids in the 90s, like myself, have seen them, but didn't really think about it, I don't even know if the schools that I've been to still have those very tiles. I would be very curious to check them out at some point, later down the line, just to see if those tiles are still around. But for here, not so much, thankfully, but getting a bit ahead of myself. So yeah, asbestos though, basically, as we found out as a whole later on, that asbestos contains things or substances or whatever, chemicals, that basically cause cancer, especially mesothelioma, I think it was. Basically, lung cancer or some sort of lung disease. For people who have been long exposed to asbestos, especially not just for the tiles, but it was also in the walls, the lining and everything, the inner walls and everything. A lot of office buildings from that same said time period had a bunch of this stuff. And so that's why, if you noticed, I may probably put the commercial back in here again, but those attorney commercials or whatever, the lawyers, right, were popping up and basically offering their services to fight the case and lawsuits for people who have been exposed to this substance, right, this material for that long time, and supposedly have been exposed and have gotten some sort of mesothelioma or lung cancer or lung disease.
Attention! If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in the Navy, shipyards, mills, heating, construction, or the automotive industries may have put you at risk. Please don't wait. Call 1-800-99-LAW-USA for a free legal consultation and financial information packet. Mesothelioma patients call now. 1-800-99-LAW-USA.
And so anyways, long story short, the stuff is bad. It's banned and it should not be in any building whatsoever. So with all that, we were looking into some companies who help remove said asbestos, and basically people were coming in, they tested the stuff, and they came back with results. Yes, it was positive for asbestos. As funny as that sounds, like it's some sort of disease for the house. And we had to proceed with removing all the crap. Basically, mostly my crap. It's my crap. So, you of course you may notice a lot of this stuff is car detailing related, and I think now it essentially has been sort of combed out of like all the junk and all the old stuff that I don't use, we don't use, right? My family. And now, for sure, most of the stuff is my detailing stuff, as funny as that is. So yes, we had to evacuate this entire garage of everything. So it was a headache and a half to get all this stuff to the backyard and have it covered in the blue tarp, and hope to God that nothing gets rusted or just gets wet or it gets destroyed due to the outdoor elements. But yeah, so unfortunately we had a bit of bad luck, because we were supposed to do it on a Tuesday, but the supervisor or whatever of that company got sick, called in sick, so they had to delay it to the next day, right? And then of course it took 2 days to evacuate all the asbestos, remove everything, right? And basically we had to like wait for the clear, right, the results and all that stuff. It basically took a little too long, right? Because they took that 1 day off. We couldn't put the stuff back in on that following weekend, so we had to wait until the next weekend after, which is here, right? As of this video, to put all the stuff back in. I did, right? And of course, all the other like little family stuff into a different area now, which hopefully that gets all sorted at some point. Anyways, this garage is now pretty much asbestos free. So we got the clear during the following Monday, and then yeah, here we are, right? It took quite a bit. It took me about 5 hours to put all this stuff back in, sort it out, make sure everything was accounted for. And then on top of that, right, I was actually cleaning out the shed. So I was like, it was a bit of a side quest for those who play video games. I got myself caught into a side quest from the main objective. So it was a bit of a tangent, and basically it took me approximately an hour longer. So because evacuating all this stuff to the backyard, tarp, all that, took 4 hours, right? But putting back everything here, and then plus, of course, the side quest, which is the clearing out the shed. There was a lot of junk in there, so we are just slowly dumping it out. We're gonna, slowly throughout the past weeks are going to dump it out. Anyway, I'll just clean that out so that way I can put more of the sort of non-essentials, right? Like old bikes and whatever, right, into the shed now, which has been done successfully. Though during that process, though, of course, the shed was like super dirty. It had like mouse crap, and as gross as that sounds, it's got like soil, like dust, and yeah, I had to wear a mask, of course. It was a dirty job, but I felt like I had to do it. It was for me, really. No one really told me to do it. It was for myself. I wanted to clear out that junk. It took a lot of sweat and tears and cussing and swearing to get all that done. but yeah, it's pretty much done. The bikes are in there. The bicycles, I should say, are in there. It's kind of dumb because I don't even know if I'm gonna ever ride my bike for a long time. But maybe an opportunity will strike, and maybe it'll happen. Anyway, what was kind of inconvenient though during this past weekend, was that I actually had to work a Saturday shift because it was peak season for FedEx. So I work at the ship center, and they called us in to make sure that we get the extra freight sorted out and whatever, right? And I myself and another person worked at the front counter to take whatever packages were coming in. So that unfortunately stomped 4 hours of my time to get this all done, right? But it is what it is. I did get a bit of a head start on that following Saturday, that same Saturday. So I just kind of like spent about like an hour and a half-ish at most to get some of the stuff in here, which is like basically on the south side of the garage. Get the stuff right here, basically. Kind of like get it started, get the ball rolling, kind of, right? And I'm about to show you that I did get myself a new rack or shelf to really make things a little more organized, right? And it looks a lot more clean now. And then back over here, there's no bikes. So that's why I'm able to now push my stuff a little further back, so the garage will have a little extra room for the Mini Cooper that will come in here at some point. But yeah, you'll notice, of course, right, there's no car in here, which is why I'm able to do this little wide shot. So I just took this opportunity to do it like this. So yeah, that's basically my my entire weekend, which is basically a lot of work. Yeah. Right before the holidays or Christmas, right? Yeah, but I am pretty happy to say that we are asbestos free. Again, we got the results. We're clear, and that's the end of it. So I'll take you around around the garage just for you guys to see, get a full little picture. Okay, so let me go ahead and detach it from the tripod. I'll have a little bit of a story on this little wagon right here, but anyway. So you'll notice, right, about this garage, it does have a little bit of a closet room. We have a little bit of extra space now because we like evacuated a lot of the old stuff, which is just sitting in the backyard, just whatever, right? Exposed to the elements. Those bags, those 2 bags right there, don't worry about that. Those are my sister's shoes. Extra little cookware that my sister got as a gift from years ago. But yeah, this used to be just a pile of just crap. Unfortunately, at some point there was, I think, a bit of mouse crap in here, for speaking of which, but we got that cleaned out. The guys, of course, who came in here to clean out the asbestos, also did a bit of a cleanup, so that was cool. Right over there, that box is a steam machine or a steam cleaner. We did use that once for my sister's car because it was like smelly, and someone spilled like ceviche all over the seat, so we got that sorted for the most part with that machine. It did help. But yeah, right now the closet is quite open, but I don't think I'm gonna ever use this for like detailing related stuff. Maybe I should if the opportunity kind of strikes. But anyway, that's that. So but you'll notice, right, there are parts of the floor, right, and then you have this part, the white. That's where the asbestos used to be. And then those are old cans of paint. Don't worry about that. Little shoe rack. Don't worry about that. And then as I walk through here, into the actual garage, you'll notice, right, it's all white. Again, that's where the asbestos used to be. So I don't know what this is for those who really want to wonder or want to ask. I have no idea what this stuff is. I try to ask, my family, and they just don't know. But yeah, it's like a white paint like substance. It did have a smell to it, but now it's gone. That was like quite a smell for like days. But anyway, it's still like it's like faint. Either that or my nose has gotten used to it. But anyway, so you can notice, right, where the wagon is and my tripod is. This bit of the blank right there, that's all just regular ass concrete. I don't know why this was not tiled out, right? My theory is that maybe that's where the bed used to be, because that's kind of a somewhat of a suitable size for a bed, but that's like right next to the door, so I don't know, like some furniture or something, like I don't know. But interesting, right? So all this white, right, this white paint like substance, that's where all the asbestos used to be, the tiles, right? You can kind of see the remaining squares, You see, if you can take a closer look as I hopefully slowly pan the camera, but yeah, you can kind of see the traces of the squares, them tiles. And now you can kind of see how I kind of like redid the space a little bit. I mean, it's still more or less the same sort of like level of organization, which is basically barely. But yeah, there's a little recharge station, random little bits right here. You see like the cables and wires. Random stuff down here, including trash bags, and then down there is where my little blue sprayer is. I've hardly used it, but it was meant to be for my sister whenever she felt like washing her own car. I just tell her to spray it and then just wipe it with a towel, kind of like a waterless wash, because my sister doesn't really care about like detailing all that stuff. She just cares about washing. So anyways, yeah, you can definitely see my beautiful arrangement of my what do you call the storage bins and all that stuff. It's got the same stuff in there, right? This one has microfiber towels in there. A lot of it's the Harbor Freight stuff, and I in fact still have quite a bit of the Harbor Freight towels. I noticed I only have the purple ones now. Interesting. Anyway, a lot of my coatings and stuff, other such things are in there. And then in other such boxes and whatever. Including my old pressure washer gun. This was my very first one. I kind of miss using it, but damn, the trigger is noticeably very tight now that I use the McKillen swivel gun. Okay, and then on the bottom is just extra bits. It does have like extra parts, including these gallon dispenser things, right? And then you have these silicone tubes with the weighted ball at the end, spray heads and spray bottles, and extra little bits and pieces, right? Including, of course, like the silicone cups, which is actually not that ideal, honestly, because silicone is very flexible. So like the slightest squeeze will definitely change the measurement, right? It'll deceive you. Anyway, don't get silicone cups like I did. Anyway, I mean, it still works, but you just have to be very careful with it if you want to be precise with your measurements. There's my 2.5 gallon detail keg right there, or soda keg, whatever you want to call it. This old bottle gallon of wash and wax from Aero Cosmetics. It's still around, so I think you can actually use it like a spray off or rinse sealant. We can also just use it like a drying aid. Yeah, waterless wash, or like a yeah, detail spray basically. It's pretty old, but I still keep it around for the sake of, I don't know, like history or something, or nostalgia. Yeah, you can definitely see like the old wallpaper stuff still there. Don't worry about the decorations. This this calendar, I don't know how old it is, but it's been around. Oh yeah, I guess this is 1994. It's been there since I was 4 years old. So anyway, it's like a Mitsubishi calendar. That's interesting actually. But yeah, it's been still here. It's still here. And also this like random old page. I have no idea what that is, but it's also like it's been there for forever ago, you know. And then yeah, you can see across the garage, right? Oh, right here, the patterns, right? And then of course, still have my old detail cart, right? And then my chemicals are still here intact, thankfully. I put the cart in the storage shed, so it definitely was safe from the elements. My detail keg is back, right, in one piece. My IK12 sprayers in one piece as well. These three were under the tarp, so it's fine. A bunch of other detailing stuff, including this spray gun that I tried out but didn't really work out for me. Like it works, I mean it works, but it's not really comfortable. Extra little towels, including the double flip from Auto Fiber, and then those towels are from House of Rags. My cheap backup, essentially backup electric foam sprayer. Random parts, including jump cables. These two license plate covers that I like to use for videos. And then this tank right here stores all the distilled water that I like to use for my detail cake spraying stuff, or just random purposes like, you know, making chemicals and put them into spray bottles and stuff like that. And then of course, the same arrangement is back of my water distiller, my 6-gallon tank right here, or a jug that holds all the distilled water, just in case, right? If I really need more. Extra distilled water here too. That's where this is a water distiller right here that I've had for a good while now. I've been using it whenever I feel like making some distilled water. So that makes about a gallon and a half in 5 hours. So that's a bit of math right there. That's the math. And this basically has a timer on it, right? An electric timer. Or I think it's mechanical, I don't know. Anyway, a timer so that the water distiller doesn't over dry itself and encrust the minerals and whatever crap on the bottom. So the bottom can stay wet a little bit. Bunch of other stuff, including the big red sponge. Bunch of other chemicals right now that I don't really use all that often, including iron removers from Detail Co. And of course, Geon, which is a little tough to get out right now, so I'm gonna, whoop, almost dropped that, but it's fine. These are my sort of connectors, right? For duck iron hose and stuff like that and such. Oh yeah, here's my Geon iron remover. I still have the same box, believe it or not. My leftover flex hose, air hose more specifically, and then this coil hose that I used to use, but not really. But I will use it for a future project. And then let me go ahead and fix that. And then there's my sort of a backup sprayer. So it's basically a 2-gallon backpack sprayer, and I use this for rinseless wash. The only sort of change or modification I made recently before the garage sort of evacuation is this tip right here. I have this tip for like a while. I know there's a bit of a rust stain, but don't worry about it. I've had this tip for a while because I tried to use it for the garden sprayer. It did fit with some adapters, but didn't really feel comfortable exactly. So because of this angle, so I actually repurposed this and was able to attach it to this wand right here. It just happens to have the same size of threads and stuff like that in length. So it's actually a perfect fit. So I haven't actually used this just yet, but I will at some point. So I'm pretty excited to do that. It's a little loose right now, so let me go ahead and tighten it a little bit. All right, so that's the backpack sprayer. This is the former detail car I used to use, but it's like super small. It was my very first one. It works, but you know, I upgraded to the one over there. So it's kind of being used as storage, and it basically holds most of my gallon bottles of whatever. My first little pump sprayer that I used for my detailing stuff. That's my random bottle of Bioworks rinseless wash concentrate. My old set of water deionizer system. I probably use it because it just runs. What do you call? It goes through the deionizer super fast because my water is just super dirty and hard. That's pretty much that. For now, I have this box of my sprayer, my garden pump sprayer with extra spray bottles in there. For now, I also have just random microfiber towels and just random sprayers right here. I'm trying to get another shelf like that, which I'll show you guys in a bit. For over here, so that way I can like kind of make it also more organized in this little bit of an area. The bucket I used to use until the wheel broke off, unfortunately. This bucket was like an old ass bucket from Target that I bought like from my days in high school. I used it for my car washes whenever I did wash my car as a kid, so I had no idea what I was doing. But later on, of course, I installed this PVC pipe. That was during like 2024, 2023-ish. This was working beautifully until the wheel for this broke off, so now it's just there for storage. My quiet air compressor from California Air Compressor, I think it's called, California Air. It worked great. I actually used to use this quite a bit for my detail keg until I converted it into a electric air keg sprayer thing. So basically an airless keg sprayer setup that I did for myself. So it's just kind of sitting there for now until I get around to actually using it for like a tornado door or something, or interior blasting and all that stuff. Which I don't know if I'll need to do that for my cars, but whatever. All right, but it's there. It's there for those types of purposes. Small jobs, you know, because it's just a 4-gallon tank, I think, right? So that's that. Now I also have this rack right here, right? This rack is very new, like I kind of mentioned earlier. This really does make things a little more organized. So here's my two e-foamers, right? This is from IK, and this is from Air Sprayer, I think it's called. I forget the company name. It performs almost as well as this, but the what do you call, the PSI capacity is a little lower, so that's why the oomph is not quite there. But I'm pretty sure they can tinker it and update it so that it actually performs a little better than this. potentially. It has the potential to be there. Brushes, wheel and tire brush, and this is the green brush from Nanoskin. So it's a little different from another green brush that I actually use for my details. Hopefully it's around. Hopefully I'm not missing it. Oh yeah, here it is. So you can definitely kind of see the difference, right? Yeah, it looks like the bristles are a little more, bold and full right here. But when you touch this, it's a lot softer, and it just makes a whole difference, right? The DIY detail, what do you call? The body brush feels like this will do the job more safely than this. So that's why I repurposed this to be another wheel and tire brush. So I think it'll do fine there. So yep, kind of see the difference there. Even the handle is a little different if you look kind of closely, including the color, right? If you look at the color, it's way different. Okay. Speaking of more brushes, this is the perfectly safe brush that I have not yet to try, but I will at some point during one of the details, including the Mini Cooper, or even the Prius, because the Prius is still the biggest car out of the three cars. So yeah, very soft bristles. This rack actually is kind of perfect to store it like this. So I just have it like that. So pretty nice. So it's just kind of it's just in there for now. I have yet to use it, like I said. Can't wait to use it though, because yeah, I'm back, right? So anyways, random chemicals right here in these little mini jugs. These are like 32-ounce mini jugs right here. They're really cute, but also it's really handy to just have chemicals ready that aren't in the foam cannons. So you're not like, potentially letting the chemicals like kind of eat away the foam cannon. This will do the job for you, and you're like prepping the chemicals beforehand. So it's kind of nice actually. You don't really think about it until you use it, and you're just like, oh wow, it's actually kind of nice. So I mean, not everyone needs it, but it's actually kind of nice to have that sort of ability. This was another foam cannon that I tried out, but it really didn't perform how I liked it. I think I may have to do something with the aerator or whatever, the thing that agitates the foam, to make it really work. Maybe the orifice could be a little different. I don't know. Maybe modifying the orifice somehow could work. By the way, this is one of the only foam cannons that sprays in a cone pattern, a circular cone pattern, versus just like a fan spray, like your typical foam cannon. The cone pattern, I don't think it really works all that well, just because the coverage is just a little different. When you're rinsing off, it doesn't really matter. But when you're covering something in the cone pattern, it's just a little strange to me. I just can't, nor will I like to wrap my head around it. So it's just kind of just sitting there at this point. It could be a backup, of course. Oh, and then next I have this random spray bottle that I got the other day from Ralph's or Kroger's for some places. Random spray bottle for like $2. So I was like, oh yeah, wow, I'll pick one of these up. And in fact, I also got another spray bottle from Ralph's. It's a smaller one, but it feels like it could be very handy. It's a 12-ounce capacity. I think this is about more than 16. Let's just say. Let me see if it shows anything at all. Oh, there we go. It's a 24-ounce bottle. Oh no, actually, take that back. It's 32 ounces, guys. 32 ounces. So basically, I guess if it goes all the way up here, it's 32 ounces. All right, cool. It even shows you the dilutions too. Wow, that's actually kind of nice. There's 1-to-1. It goes up to 5-to-1. Interestingly enough. Oh, look at that, right? So, anyways, that is that. Oh yeah, so foam cannon. This is the Grio's foam cannon. I forgot what this is called. Oh no, it's the Brilliant Finish. Brilliant Finish foam cannon. Pretty nice. That's my first sort of bougie foam cannon that I bought back in the day. Okay, and then this is like one of those auto metering foam cannons. It's a little different because I actually added a straw in here, so it'll work a little better. I use it for like wheels and tires, basically. This is one of the earlier Raincovo foam cannons. This actually works really well. It's just that it's black and the little display window here doesn't work all that well. And it has this weird side cap thing, so you can like refill your stuff easily, I guess, if you want to do that. It also comes with a little measuring cup, so it's kind of cool. Kind of neat things they had going. And then my Bix Pro S2 foam cannon. This is basically the same foam cannon for like whatchamacallit, the MTMs or whatever you call them, and then like the newer, even the newer ones that came out, like the armor detail foam cannon. Basically this, with a few modifications, of course, besides the color. Okay, and then my spray wand that I used to use quite a bit for my rinses washes. It'll return someday. I'll make its return. Charger for the Ego blower. Random cardboard boxes. My sort of sample box of superior products that I bought myself from O'Reilly's. This is actually something I have not used yet, but I would like to at some point. It's basically a water bucket heater. So it heats up to a certain temperature. You just dip it in there and then let it go, right? So it'll make like washes in the winter a little more pleasant, in a sense. Random little bucket with like sponges in here, other such equipment and tools, including brushes and stuff like that. Okay, and then you got another bucket. This is the main bucket I use for my car washes and detailing. I got the old, oh wow, I don't know what happened there. I don't know, what stain is that from? It's definitely not some sort of wet stain. It's like I don't know what that is actually. Well, good thing I don't use this sponge all that often anymore. But yeah, that's the main bucket that I use. Let me move this cable for a second. And so because one of the wheeled buckets that I converted to broke, I resorted to this one. It's basically like a hand cart dolly thing with free rotating wheels, and it has this like little handle right here. It's about like 29 bucks depending on when you get it or what timing you have for sales and stuff like that. It's actually really handy if you're willing to spend the money for it. Same thing here for my water softener tank or system. It's got a bunch of like little nifty things, including the quick connect right here, the shut-off valve or turn valve, elbow, split valve right here, including two turn valves right here, quick connects, all that stuff. Converter for pipe threading to garden hose threading. My other bucket that I do use also in my washes, so it has the body brush, microfiber mitt, the Nemesis sponge, V2, very nice blue sponge. My gallon jug right here or measuring jug. So very nice. Okay. My stuff is back here as well, including the Eagle blower that I haven't used in a while. the little hand truck dolly thing that folds, my extra hoses for pressure washer, the Ryobi gun that came with the pressure washer. Don't worry about that. That's for ants. We do have ant infestations from time to time. My beloved pressure washer hose reel. I do have a lead hose all the way to, of course, my beloved Ryobi automotive pressure washer, 1200 psi, 1.8 GPM, around there at least. So yep. Where did my stuff go? Oh yeah. Where is? I did thought I bring my gun back here. Well, anyway, hopefully my McKillen's swivel gun should be around. Anyway, so that's essentially minus the swivel gun, unfortunately. All the stuff here has been accounted for. So, oh yeah, completely missed my cabinet here, storage cabinet for my chemicals. It's been a little disheveled because of me moving around stuff, so I'll have to like reorganize it again, but it'll happen in the future. I mean, basically it's still there, like rinses washers here, shampoos over here, glass cleaners over here, detail / sealants over here, polishing stuff over here, gallon bottles down here. This one turned empty now, so I'm gonna use that for extra space of some kind. I did buy these new storage bins right here from also Ralph's. My toolbox down there, so yeah, now it actually fits like a glove, right? This door now shuts beautifully, unlike before. Extra drying towels up there. The rest of my drying towels are still in the living room. We actually, unfortunately, did lose the clothesline, so we're gonna make ourselves a new one. So that'll hopefully happen at some point. So yep, that's actually for realsies all I got for the garage sort of renewal, right? So for those who want to ask about like, oh, what about like the swivel tracks, Swiss tracks, all that stuff, I don't give a crap about that personally. It's just extra work for me to like clean up the floor whenever I remove the tracks, right? It's just, I don't know. It's just something I'm not gonna put up with, so I'm just gonna leave the floor as is. This garage is just here to store my stuff, and that's all there is to it. I do the most of my washing out there anyway. This is not anything like a wash bay, and maybe if I do ever have the opportunity to do so, maybe, but for now it's just a garage to store my stuff. Oh yeah, forgot to show you guys. This is the whiteboard from one of my videos. Yep, so. Oh yeah, here's one of the stains from like years ago. That stain is like older than me. That's pretty much that. All right. So you now, oh yeah, my atomic clock is also back here too. So you now see what exact date and timing it is. So, and oh yeah, mini fridge. Yep, that's all there is to it, guys. I am back. So, once again, like I said, I am back. So, once again, like I said, I'm back. And hopefully I can fit one wash into December, because I was not able to wash any of the cars all December pretty much. So it's been about a good 3 to 4 weeks ever since the last wash. So my car especially is super dirty. I'm pretty sure the Mini Cooper is dirty, and my sister's car also has to be especially dirty. Yep, that's if I don't, I don't think I have anything else to offer at this point. I'm a little concerned about my swivel gun. I could have sworn I put it back in here, but okay, we'll have to really see what's going on. But okay, maybe, just maybe, it might be in one of these buckets I haven't looked into super hard. But anyway, sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Funny story, right? Almost forgot to say. Which is this wagon right here. Throughout the procedure of evacuating the garage and putting the stuff back into the garage, I used this classic Radio Flyer wagon that we had back in the day. We actually bought this like 20 years ago-ish. And one of the uses was moving one of my older dogs around because she couldn't move anymore. So we used the wagon to help sort of transport my dog. It was like a white husky, basically. She got very old. She passed away around like 16, right around 16. And we just used this wagon to move her around. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, age has hit it very hard, kind of like what my dog went through. And this used to be a backrest, but now it got destroyed. And then if you look at the other side, this is where it gets hilarious. The wheel broke. Oh no! My dumbass was trying to transport those cinder blocks over there. I should have known. And it shattered the inner parts of the wheel. I should have known. Although, oddly enough, the other wheels are like intact, relatively at least. It's just that one. It just gave out. But that's just how it goes. But I kept using it. I kept using the wagon to move all this stuff back into here. You know, 2 items at a time, basically. 2 big items, I mean. But it helped. It made a difference, and it helped me to the very end. So I salute you, Radio Flyer, for not only helping out my old dog back in the day, but also helped me move all this stuff back in here and out, in and out with this stuff. So rest in peace, Radio Flyer. I'll never forget you. Okay. Before I get myself super distracted, I guess I'll let you guys go. But before I do, future plans. So one of the videos I will do, or try to do, is basically do a basic video of explaining myself on how I made the bucket with the pole or whatever. A number of people have been asking about it, so I'm like, you know what? I'll make a video about it in January. Why not? It's gonna be very basic, guys. It's not that hard. I got the idea from Franco, from Devil in Details. He's a really cool guy. His creativity and stuff like that, how he goes about detailing is just very different, and that's great. Like, I always like to check out other people, how they do detailing. It's just different. Everyone has their own little quirk, uniqueness that they always bring to the table, and that's what I look for. And Franco is definitely one of them for sure. I'm back. I'm gonna be detailing now, and I'm very happy to see all my stuff back in here as it was, and then some, right? Because it's extra organized. Like, I don't know, it just feels a little more sensible, if that's the word for it. It just makes more sense. It's all lined up nicely. All the junk is over there in the boneyard, as one would call it, or the storage shed. Especially the bikes. I know I can't. I'm gonna keep doing that. So thank you very much. Hit the like button and subscribe for more future videos, such as hopefully the bucket pull thing setup. Right. Enough silliness. Really, for realsies, thank you very much for being patient. For those who really wanted to see more detailing videos and such, I am back. Like I said. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll try to get around to doing detailed videos again, starting with a detail with the DIY detail care package. Like, damn, man, like I want to thank DIY detail again. I do have an affiliate link down below. Check it out with the coupon code HAWK10 to save 10% off of your purchase. It will really help out, and I do appreciate it, along with the subscription, the like, all that stuff. The DIY detail care package will definitely help me out with this wash throughout the 3 weeks, or the 3 cars that are just dirty at this point, because it's been a good while, and that'll definitely do it, man. That'll definitely do it. So thank you very much, and hopefully I fit one more detail video, or detailing video for the year ends. But anyways, with that being said, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Sean out.